had to do a content versus links, obviously you will say content is more important.
So if you are creating the content anyway, why waste money on acquiring 100 links, while if you have optimized content, 50 links would be enough to rank it? It's just a waste of money.
How big you are now? What numbers do you do?
We got like 70-ish people on board.
You guys are bootstrapped?
Yes, we are bootstrapped. We never had like a VC funding. If you ask ChatGPT
What's best SEO optimization tool?
it will be Surfer, and I'm telling you, you can try it out.
I would have to start up a new website. Should I go with EMD, PMD, a brandable domain, or an expired domain?
Expired EMD, that's the number one choice. Expired branded could be hard.
Do AI content work in 2025? If yes, what's the correct approach in short?
The key thing for the AI content is that it has to be useful. It has to provide the legit information that someone that is reading would say like, thank you for telling me this. That was the thing that was my pain in the ass and you just solve it.
What's the best content optimization tip you would like to give? So again, guys, welcome to my podcast. In today's podcast, I have a very, now we can say a very famous or a celebrity guest with us, the founder of Surfer SEO, Michal. In today's podcast, Michal will be discussing about his journey of building Surfer SEO. How did he land up building Surfer SEO? What Surfer SEO do now? What are the future plans? Discussing more on Google's AI overviews, how the SEO is changing, how the world is changing, how you can leverage LLMs to get more traffic, not just rely on Google's traffic, and obviously a lot on content optimization, because again, Surfer is more of a content optimization tool, and why optimizing content is more important than ever. So again, man, firstly, thank you for coming over. Your presentation at the conference was amazing. In fact, I'll put up the best screenshots for the people so that they can have an idea of what did we discuss, and maybe I'll give it some voiceover so that people know what we are discussing.
Really appreciate that, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely. And again, guys, I was so excited the moment I got to know, oh, he's Michal, he's from Surfer SEO. I have been a customer of Surfer SEO, would love to share the journey of what was the experience of using Surfer SEO, right? And anyways, the moment I asked him for a podcast, he was so quick enough. He was like, yeah, let's do it. I have him on the show. Starting it over, firstly, when did you start? And in general, like about in this online industry. So when did you start actually?
That was a complete accident for me because
you are from?
I'm from Poland,
okay.
Southeast part of Poland, close to Slovakian and Ukrainian border in this very corner of Poland. And that's actually a beginning of the story because we've been living on the countryside. Okay. And there was not so many opportunities in there to work on. I was first working as a quality assurance in a software house, but then the situation got complex, so to say, and I was on the job market. Okay. And a friend of mine who was running an SEO agency in a village, 300 people village, he was sourcing for potential employees, and it was like, hey, maybe you want to join, but what do you do? And I'm doing SEO. I was like, okay, what's that? So he basically sent me a Josh Bashinsky guide to SEO 2017 or 16, something like a video. I was like, I watched it. I was like, okay, I can do SEO now. So he hired me.
Which year?
2017. 16 actually. Yeah, 2016.
Okay.
And I started as a PBN copywriter. So I was basically writing about different roofing techniques to build links for a local roofer. But then I realized that SEO is so dynamic. I can watch closely to what the most successful people are doing, and I can make some impact on SEO. So it turned out like, okay, I'm a PBN copywriter, then I'm an SEO. Then it turned out I became the head of SEO of the agency. It was year and a half. And we've been struggling as a company to scale up because, as I mentioned, I still live in this rural area of Poland. There is like no major cities. You cannot hire people. So what do you do if you cannot scale up with people? You scale up with improving your processes.
Yes, technology.
So we were like, what can we do with on-page SEO with a software? And it turned out that if we build a software for ourselves, we can be faster and more accurate on content optimization. So we knew about the headings, about the keywords in use. We knew that all of these small ranking factors that add up in content optimization. That was 8 years ago. So there were like different ranking factors than now, but we've been looking at these keywords where they are used in the content. So we build the tools for ourselves, and we team up with my brother, who actually asked me, like, I'm bored at work. He's a developer. And he said, like, I'm bored at work. What do you do in this SEO? And I'm like, if you can extract me the top 10 ranking pages, headings and paragraphs, and where are the keywords, I will be grateful. So he built like a prototype of that for the agency internal use. So we started using it, and it turned out that we can scale up without people, because the same amount of people could handle more work because of these tedious tasks of reviewing HTML was removed. And this is how we started Surfer.
Surfer was started in which year?
Surfer was started in 2017. So a year later, we started scaling up the product with internal tool. And
Publicly?
In November 2017,
Okay.
on one of the Polish SEO conferences,
Okay.
KRK is a conference held in Krakow. Our CEO at the time, the guy who was owning the agency as well, he stood up on the stage, explained correlations and stuff, and people were like, oh, jaw drop, right? We started to hear our phones ringing like, new trial opt-in, and we were like, okay, we are onto something. So, can we quit client work and start building software? And it turned out that was one of the best decisions we ever made, because we, like, the agency still is there. The agency still got the clients and stuff, but, we managed to move directly to building a product for other SEOs.
Okay. How is the company doing now? How big you are now? What numbers do you do?
So in terms of the employees, we got like 70-ish people on board.
70 people.
Yeah, headquarters in Wrocław, Poland. But there is like a 50-50 split between the people in the office and people remotely working from every single part of the world, like Philippines, Mexico, India, US, like everywhere you can imagine, Africa. There's a lot of people in like Nigeria. Quite a big spread. And, when it comes to the customers and the revenues, we make like, 1.2 mil monthly, in subscriptions.
Okay. That's not bad. And you guys are bootstrapped?
Yes, we are bootstrapped. We never had like a VC funding or something like that.
Perfect. Now coming back to the theory questions, and again, guys, just in case, this podcast is not at all sponsored by Surfer SEO. It is me being genuinely so much convinced by the tool I have used in the past. I still use other content optimization tools, but I was so impressed with the speech and the talk that he gave. I was like, okay, I need to have this man on this conversation to make you guys aware.
Maybe I can bring you back.
Okay, perfect. Any which ways. Now coming on, why do you think optimizing content is important than ever before?
So, people created so many articles, so many landing pages, so many URLs out there, and they invested in research, in analysis of how what it should include and so on. But the times change. So 6 months pass and you do iPhone review. And what number of the iPhone it is right now? 17?
Say 16.
16, right? So 6 months ago, you would be reviewing iPhone 15. So the things change. And it's not only in tech, but in every niche, changes happen. Either to Google algorithm that promotes something different, or maybe the products have changed, the features have changed. So this is why at least every 6 months, I would say, you are supposed to review your content, whether it's still optimized on point in Google requirements and the user needs. So this is why it's so much important right now.
Okay. And again, a very controversial question. Before shooting this podcast, I shot a podcast with Galen, founder of SEO Domains. And his product talks more about links. Your product talks more about content. If I had to do a content versus links, obviously you will say content is more important. But why content is more important?
Okay. I will use a quote of Kyle Roof. Hello, Kyle. You're a great guy. Kyle Roof said once, that the only page you cannot rank is the one that does not exist. And You just have to have some content and then you push it with links. So if you are creating the content anyway, why waste money on acquiring 100 links, while if you have optimized content, 50 links would be enough to rank it. It's just a waste of money. So if you are doing SEO, it has a compound effect. If you build links to a page that is not optimized, you are basically losing money on links because they are not as effective as they could be.
Yeah.
Plus, if you are building links on a guest post like niche edits and something like that, it is really a good idea to provide content that is optimized. So the page that you are creating, that is not only sharing your voice and promoting your product, it is also ranking for some keywords. And without the optimization, it will be just harder. So you spend $500 on creating really good article on a DR, AT, domain, whatever. If you do not optimize it, you are basically slipping on money.
Exactly. Now, the most trending and most, discussed question in SEO these days, with the increase of AI overviews, Google's AI mode, LLMs taking over the market, how do you see the future of search, future of Google SEO is going?
It will be harder on attribution. So you will be having a hard time to find out how did the customer found you. But in the end, if you do good SEO, you also show up in these AI overviews and it's like
LLM.
Yeah, it's your brand on top. And every time someone sees ChatGPT telling, if you Google, what do you say? If you ask ChatGPT,
What best SEO optimization tool?
It will be Surfer. And I'm telling you, you can try it out. It will be Surfer in there. And why? Because we do good SEO, do good content marketing. We answer the question right away. And the structure is really easy for the LLMs to retrieve that information. The classic search is still there for so many applications, but for all of these more complex queries, like for the affiliate, let's say, that would be a tricky point. Like if you go ask ChatGPT, what are the best running shoes? And the chat asks you, do you run on tarmac or you run in a countryside? And, these deeper questions. And then it will review all of these previous content and will tell you ASICS, New Balance, whatever. So in there, it will be harder because the attribution cannot be assigned to the affiliate, but it will be good for ASICS. It will be good for New Balance. So it will be good for the brands, not for the resellers, basically. So be a brand, create a brand instead of, running on someone else's back. That will be the top one advice in this era.
Okay. Got it. What's the difference between optimizing for Google and optimizing for LLMs?
When you optimize for Google, you also optimize for people because the behavioral signals are strong. So when people are not satisfied, even though you have all of these entities, all the topical coverage, if the content is, let's say, bad quality, does not fulfill the user intent, it will drop. But for the AI, it's different because people, when they are reading, they need engagement. They need some insight. They need infographics. They need engagement, basically, anecdote. But when you are LLM, the only thing you care about is how many tokens do I spend on retrieving information. So LLMs prefer content that is straight to the point, that is summarizing sections, yes, as little words for as much meaning. So we will have this entity to length ratio, so like cut off the fluff. That will be a difference between optimizing for Google, because Google is behavioral signals as well. LLMs do not care about behavioral signals. There are no page visits. There is no bounce rate. There is no dwell time. But
they take everything from Google. Stop. So ultimately, you have to do all of these things.
Yeah. Doing good SEO is also doing you good in LLMs. But if you prioritize LLMs, you can actually sacrifice a little bit of Google to be top in the LLMs. And I think it will be in the nearest future, we will be start looking for a balance. How much do I
get from Google?
How much do I optimize for people? How much do I optimize for LLMs?
Got it.
Obviously, Surfer is introducing these tools in the nearest future. So,
and again, this podcast is not paid by Surfer. So again, this is complete raw and genuine advice that we are giving you.
Yeah. It's live and I can say whatever I want.
Yeah. again, a question as you showed up in the presentation, and obviously I'll giving the voiceover, but a different opinion maybe. If I would have to start up a new website, should I go with EMD, PMD, a brandable domain, or an expired domain?
Expired EMD, that's the number one choice. Expired branded could be hard because otherwise
Brand match will differ and
it's kind of, it can be even illegal.
yeah.
If you do not care of the brand, I would go with EMD, H domain. If not,
Or EMD fresh.
yeah, or EMD fresh and then branded because branded will just cost you more in the long run.
Yeah. And it's flippable, is a business.
Yeah, you can also 301 it later. So yeah, okay, we got the plan. So first, aged EMD. Then when your business starts to get traction and you feel like you need a brand, then you create a branded domain and then 301, the aged one to the branded one. So you do not lose your work.
As the next question should not be biased at all. I know any conversation is not biased, but Surfer, I got used to Surfer because I wanted to have good SEO optimized content. So you guys have a AI content writer. Do AI content work in 2025? If yes, what's the correct approach in short?
We've done a analysis on a bigger sample.
Again, I'll put up the screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put a screenshot from a presentation. So there is literally the same amount of AI content in the top of the SERP as in the bottom of the SERP. So there is no really a correlation of you will rank lower if your content is AI. The key thing for the AI content is that it has to be useful. It has to provide the legit information that someone that is reading would say like, thank you for telling me this. That was the thing that was my pain in the ass and you just solve it. So that's the thing. Like the example I had with this scratching post in article about catnip. So I was explaining this, topical coverage on the what is catnip article and, Surfer found that interesting fact that is supposed to be used in the article is that if you put catnip on the scratching post for a cat will be attracted to that scratching post and it will stop scratching your furniture. And this is life-changing thing. Yeah, because...
And that's what Corey also mentioned in his podcast that I did recently. Corey said AI content is not a problem, but how you are AI content not a problem, but what are you actually telling? How that information is valuable is more important than ever.
Yeah, is it structured from general to specific? Does it flow? Does it make sense? Does it like get, let's say, more mature during the article? So you start with some basics. You get the idea. Oh, what is SEO? SEO is this. Oh, SEO has 3 pillars: on page, off page, and behavioral signals and technical. Then you got like deeper and deeper and deeper. This way you can provide a useful information.
Got it. To wrap up the podcast, last and the most important question. If somebody cannot afford a tool like Surfer, what's the best content optimization tips you would like to give? Because if they can afford, they
use ChatGPT.
Okay.
Use ChatGPT. Because ChatGPT can do also a retrieval augmented generation. So you can ask ChatGPT, hey, do me the deep research. It will pull some sources. It will understand based on the information it pulls from the pages. Then you can iterate on the article, like ask like, hey, is this article really complete or is it missing in some element? And it will say like, it's good, but it could be better in here and there. Can you fix the here and there now? Okay. And it fixed the here and there now. And then you can iterate this way, step by step. It's a manual process, but if you cannot afford tools, you spend your time on doing the work. So if you can influence ChatGPT to help you craft
with your problem, be it optimizing for semantic or anything. Right?
Yeah, just avoid a single prompt article.
Yes.
Just avoid that. Make sure that the article like flows, that it explains the information and stuff. And this way you will get there.
Okay, got it. Anything you would want to add up before we close this up?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So you mentioned the Surfer AI. We are just dropping a new update to the Surfer AI, which will include templates that are able to follow specifically either landing pages, product pages, comparison articles, different
Brand
type of
articles.
like anything that you want. Basically, you provide the template of someone else's article, or you are doing a programmatic SEO and you crafted this one best city page. And with Surfer AI, you can replicate that city page that will be optimized for all the regions you want. And it will follow that template, follow that tone of voice, follow the brand voice and all of that. And it's really a breakthrough. All the companies are claiming they do it right, but they do not.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
we do it right.
Okay, definitely. So again, guys, thank you for watching this podcast. Hope you had good value information. If you like the content, do subscribe. If you haven't checked out to Surfer SEO, do check out. And obviously check out the cool founder. He's quite often, I would say, not an introvert, but definitely a very communicative guy. So again, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.
Thank you.